Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a ton of expert advice on modern preparedness. We're going to cover everything from those little daily annoyances to being ready for a major emergency. And we'll start with what you probably already have in your pockets.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We're following what's called the concentric circles of preparedness. We'll start with the stuff right on you, then expand out to your daily bag, talk about safety on the go, build out an emergency go bag, and wrap it all up with the most critical layer of all, your mindset. All right, let's dive right in.
Okay, so our first circle, this is the most personal one, and really it's the foundation for everything else. The gear you have on you, on your person at all times.
This whole concept is often called everyday carry, or EDC for short. And look, this isn't about some crazy survivalist fantasy, right? It's really just a practical philosophy. The idea is to carry a few key things that help you solve life's little problems, which makes you that much more ready to handle the big ones if they pop up.
Let's start with something you have on you right now, your wallet. Time for a little audit. The goal here is to be a minimalist, which also protects your security. You want to keep your ID, maybe 2 or 3 essential cards, insurance info, and a little bit of cash. Now, what do you ditch? Your social security card? Yeah, that's a huge no-no. Never carry it. It's a golden ticket for identity thieves. Same goes for that mountain of old receipts and every single loyalty card you own.
Okay, beyond the wallet, this is kind of the core toolkit. A good pocket knife and a multi-tool can handle 1,000 different tasks. A small flashlight is just invaluable. But here's the real pro tip, the one everyone learns the hard way. Carry a mini pry bar. Why? Because it will stop you from doing the one thing that breaks most pocket knives, using that delicate tip to pry something open.
All right, let's move out to the next circle, the bag you carry every single day. This is the backpack or purse you grab when you leave the house, and it really extends your level of preparedness.
So what actually goes in this bag? Well, travel experts have a really simple framework. First up, comfort. Think cozy socks or a small blanket for those unexpected delays or freezing cold rooms. Next, organization. Use little pouches so you can find what you need, fast. Then you've got your tech, especially a power bank. And finally, a few things for health and hygiene, just to stay fresh and feel human on the go.
And this is where things get really personal, you know? For instance, a lot of the advice out there geared towards women's EDC, it often highlights some different daily needs and, let's be honest, different safety concerns. Their kits might focus more on specific hygiene items and non-lethal tools like a personal alarm or pepper spray.
Okay, so now we're going to zoom out to that next circle, your actual environment. Because listen, having all the right gear is great, but it's only half the story. Your awareness, how you actually move through the world, that's what really keeps you safe.
So safety experts point to 5 really practical habits for when you're walking alone. Plan a route that's well lit. Let somebody know where you're going. Be aware of what's around you. That means head up, phone away. Carry a safety item, and maybe the most important one of all, trust your gut. If a situation feels off, it probably is.
I'm sure you've seen this all over the internet, right? The Wolverine-style key grip for self-defense. Well, experts have a pretty clear warning. It's a bad idea. In a real high-stress situation, you're way more likely to cut up your own hand or break your fingers than you are to actually defend yourself effectively.
And this quote right here, it adds some really important context. It's making the point that, yeah, learning self-defense is an empowering tool for an individual, but it doesn't fix the root cause of violence. For that, you need systemic change. It kind of frames personal safety as this necessary, practical step, but not the final answer.
And you know, these same ideas, awareness, planning, they apply everywhere, whether in the city or out in the wild. If you're heading outdoors, these basic safety rules are they're non-negotiable. Hike with a buddy, stay on the trail, check the weather, and always let someone know your plans.
Okay, now we get to the next circle of preparedness, and this one answers a much bigger what if. What if you had to get out of your house fast because of something like a flood or a fire or some other emergency? That's where the go bag comes in. So a go bag isn't about trying to live off-grid for months. Not at all. The whole point is to have what you need to get through the first few critical days of an emergency. It's about giving yourself time to get to safety or for help to finally arrive.
A really solid go bag is going to cover these 5 key areas. You need food, and this is huge, a way to get clean water. You need power for your phone because that's your lifeline. A good first aid kit is critical when professional help might not be available. Some basic tools for all the unexpected stuff, and finally, waterproof copies of your important documents in case the originals get lost or you can't get to them.
This chart gives you a great way to visualize how to balance your bag. See that big slice for food and water? That's your #1 priority for sure. But you can't forget the other stuff, right? The goal isn't to be perfect, it's just to be balanced, making sure all your core needs are covered for those first few days. All right, we've made it to the final circle. And honestly, this is the most important one by far, because you can buy all the coolest gear in the world, but it's totally useless without the right mindset. Preparedness is a practice, not something you can just buy.
This quote from safehome.org it hits the nail on the head. Technology is an amazing tool, but relying on it completely can create this false sense of security. When the battery dies or the signal drops, it's your skills and your awareness that are going to get you through.
So this is really the main takeaway of the whole thing. A prepared mindset isn't something you buy, it's a skill you build. And it really comes down to these 4 pillars. Stay aware, get to know your environment, actually practice with your gear before you need it, and, like we've said, always trust your instincts.
Which, brings us to the final question. Having a kit ready is a fantastic first step, but the gear, that's just the start. Being truly prepared is an ongoing practice of building skills, awareness, and resilience.